What's up, everybody? It's time. It's Wednesday. It's another episode of the Game Lounge, and I'm your host, Retrozilla. Uh, yeah, we're pretty close in time and between the two episodes, but that's okay. Not a whole lot's been going on since the last time I seen ya or heard from you guys, but we got to keep rolling on with the Cobra Kai stuff. And as well, we got a main event to talk about. No WandaVision, even though it's up on my screen from what I'm looking at, but it's going to be Cobra Kai and some main event stuff today. So, without further ado, let's get into the news. So, Cobra Kai season 3, episode 5. This was kind of an interesting episode. Kind of sets up the Anakin Skywalker arc for Robbie. Daniel learns a little bit more about Miyagi-Do, and old friend comes back and surprises Daniel. So it's pretty good little episode. And we also kind of get a kind of character, interior character from Sam, how her mental status is. But let's just go through the points here and we'll recap the episode. So it starts off with the three sitting at a table in Okinawa. Then it branches out with Chosen and Daniel going off to discuss some Miyagi-Do karate stuff. Daniel says something in the area of Mr. Miyagi taught him everything he knew. Chosen was like, "Are you sure?" And then we go into a training montage, and then a little bit before the montage, or the point where Daniel's seen some old Miyagi scrolls, and he's like, "I want those." And Chosen's like, "No, you're a foreigner, and you can't have them." And then they kind of train and kind of argue about that, but they get in some training. And about at the end of the training, throughout the whole training, you kind of like Chosen still this stupid asshole that he was like 30 years ago. And you're like, man, he's going to really whoop Daniel's ass. But you get to the end of the training, and Chosen, kind of gets his revenge, but in the form of honking Daniel's nose like Daniel did to him 30 years ago. And then after that, Chosen's like this, happy-go-lucky guy because he learned the error of his ways, and that's why Kumiko knew about it. And it's kind of funny how Kumiko set him up with Chosen like that. But it was kind of funny at the end. It was a nice little build up, and it was good. It was good for Daniel. Daniel learned a new move. That you'll find out later what happens. But it was nice. Daniel learned some humility. Chosen learned some humility 30 years ago. It all kind of, comes full circle. And it was a nice way to bridge the gap between 30 years. It was pretty cool. And let's see, back stateside, we got Cobra Kai in full effect with some bullying at the golf and stuff, little amusement park. Sam gets a call on the phone. She brings the whole crew down there. You get a little revenge. But to her surprise, Tori's back in action. And that's when Sam just goes in full PTSD mode because she's still feeling the mental effect of when she got the knucks on her arm. And she's dealing with the scars on her arm. And she just froze up, and homeboy got his arm broke, and she couldn't do nothing to help. And that's what we're dealing with Sam. Let's see, with Johnny's in training mode with Miguel. Johnny's trying to, make amends for, the misguided teachings that everybody's gotten throughout this whole thing in the karate incident at school. Even though Johnny was, had good intentions at heart, it was kind of misguided for everybody, and he kind of fell into the big black hole with Kreese again. But he's helping Miguel out, train, and trying to get back to walking. Johnny had a little spout with the personal trainer. He was like, "This ain't you can't get him walking like this." And Miguel's mom's like, "You need to just shut up, and if you don't agree with it, then you can leave, or if you shut up, you can stay." Blah blah blah. She was like, "I'm letting you in his life because that's what he wants." And finally, Johnny goes on a limb because I think he read something on the internet, and they go see a Dee Snider concert, which is really kind of cool. And to the surprise of everybody, Miguel gets his foot tapping to the music, and he starts getting feeling back in his leg. And then let's catch up with Bobby. Bobby's at juvie getting his ass beat by a bunch of guys. Kreese shows up for a visit and sees that he's got some beatings on his face. And Kreese is like, that Miyagi-Do shit, that don't work in real life. You gotta strike first, like his teachings. But then Robbie goes back, or Robbie. Am I saying Robbie? Bobby? Robbie? I'm losing my mind here. Robbie goes back and he strikes first, and him and that other kid kind of join a little bond in juvenile hall. So that's when the little Anakin arc starts to build up for the season, and the old John Kreese Palpatine manipulator starts working his magic again. So there's that part, and then at the end of the episode, I mean, I didn't see it coming, but it came and surprised me, and maybe didn't surprise other people, but the girl that he saved, well, before that, Chosen ends up giving him the scrolls that Dana was asking about before Chosen goes and teaches the class that he goes and teaches. But then Dana goes off back to town and, says his goodbyes to Kumiko, and Kumiko surprises him once again. Good old Kumiko. With the girl he saved 30 years ago from that tower thing. And to his dismay, she works for Dayona. And she's like, "I'm going to help you save your business, and it's all going to work out." And that's how the episode pretty much ends. So, yeah. But if you guys watch Star Wars Theory or Cobra Kai Theory, there's a theory going around that he was talking about the other day that on Johnny's karate gi from the first Karate Kid has Sato's emblem on his pants. So there's a theory that you remember from Karate Kid 2 that Sato trains all the military guys in karate. So there's a theory that maybe Terry Silver and John Kreese both went to Okinawa at some point and trained under Sato, and that's why the emblem's on his gi. So in a roundabout way, at some point, I think we're going to find out that all this karate is a derivative from Miyagi-Do, and that Cobra Kai is derivative of Sato's misguided anger against Miyagi, and that's how Cobra Kai got started, is from the misguided anger from Sato. So that's the theory that he's thrown out there, and it makes sense. It might go down like that, and it's all going to go down with, the light side and the dark side kind of Star Wars kind of thing where, everybody found out that there was a force and everybody started out as one, and then one guy thought this sucked, and this guy's like, no, this is the right way, and that's how the Sith and Jedi got started. And I think we're going down that path, and I think that we're going to visit that in season 4. But there's episode 5, guys. A little bit of theory behind what's going on probably in a later season. So there you go. Go ahead and catch up. We got 4 episodes to the finale, and we can get rocking with the finale. I've watched probably the finale like 3 times already. Finale is pretty awesome. So get caught up. We're about there. All right, the main event. It's Alexa Bliss knows how to wrestle. I'm telling you. But they're both my favorites. I like these two a lot. Especially Alexa, here in the later part where she's starting to put on this brainwash psychotic thing from Bray Wyatt. It's pretty awesome. But it was a little bit of a weird match. Asuka was on Alexa's Playhouse earlier in the Brawl, and Asuka got kind of spooked out. So when the match started, Asuka was, a little spooked, but they were still putting on a pretty good match at the beginning. Now I'm a fan of both wrestlers, and the transformation of Alexa Bliss has been pretty awesome to watch. Like, she's been like 110% committed to the character, and it's pretty cool. And it was even watch her even going farther with it, taking on the persona of pretty much Bray Wyatt's Fiend was awesome. Because it gives a new dimension and explosiveness to Alexa Bliss, and makes her way more dangerous as a wrestler going to go against. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Alexa is going to change back at some point, and I mean, that's cool. But I'm loving this new kind of character arc for her, and it's really awesome. I hope it goes on for a long while. And I don't know where Bray Wyatt is, but I hope he doesn't show up for a while. I hope Alexa takes on a persona of Bray Wyatt for a long while. So there's that. I got some notes I didn't write up in here. As weird as it was still actually a good match. It was far above the shit we saw last Raw. So just to make that clear. Asuka had good offense in the beginning. Alexa, had some good technical points where it was nice to see, because Alexa, she's in that weird spot where she just kind of like does whatever Vince tells her to do, but she's a way better wrestler than you would absolutely think. And you don't ever get to see that very often, but you got to kind of see the taste of it in this match a little bit. And she can be a great technical wrestler when she wants to be, and when you see that, you're like, man, I wish we could see that all the time. And let's see. And then she did the transformation part, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Asuka was still going at her. She was spooked out and still trying to, get at her. And then Alexa was throwing in some new moves from Bray Wyatt, which I can't wait to see in some later matches. But this was actually, it wasn't a complete match, but it was a pretty good match among the circumstances within the gimmick of Alexa's character. But go check it out. It sets up probably some future storylines. We might, if she was wait a little bit more, I think we could probably see Alexa versus Randy Orton. But I don't know if they'll kind of do that. So I'm kind of wondering if it might not be Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt on WrestleMania. But this wasn't too bad of a match, so I go check it out. So, and also tonight's AEW Dynamite, so I'm sure we're gonna get like 5 great matches to watch. So I'd go watch that tonight, later on tonight. All right, next up. Oh yeah, I gotta tell about the podcast, guys. We started the podcast. It's me, Alex, Wade, Doug, and Drew. We're starting off discussing the 50 greatest NBA players ever. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts. We're everywhere. We've got one actual episode up, and then we got another episode where we're just discussing the James Harden trade. So the first episode's Kawhi Leonard. We got another episode dropping tomorrow. It's going to be James Worthy. So check us out. It's a good listen. I mean, if you like NBA, it's worth a listen. We discuss some pretty good, points of discussion about these players. So, come join us, take a listen. It's gonna be running all year long. So, I'm sure there's a player you want to listen to or check out. So, Sports the Nemo Way, guys, podcast. We got Kawhi up and running. We got the James Harden trade discussion. So, come check us out. All right, affiliate time, I do believe. Yep. All right, Raise Energy. 0 sugar, 0 carb energy drink, none of that midday crash. It's a constant flow of energy to get you through your workout or your stream. Now, if you go to repsports.com and put in my code RETROZILLA, you will get, I believe it's 15% off. Yeah, 15% off your order. And like I tell you in every episode, you don't have to buy anything. It'd be awesome if you did, but you don't have to. But you can go check stuff out and maybe something to catch your fancy and, give it a shot. Try it out. And then the next one, we got No Name Nerd. Custom gaming gear for all gamers, from jerseys to hats to face masks. Go to nonamenerd.com and you'll get fitted for success. Go to nonamenerd.com and put in my code retro_zilla and you'll get 10% off your order. And just like the other one, I mean, you don't have to go, start, looting up because you're like, oh yeah, RetroZilla gets it. I'm just asking you to go check it out and you'll find something. I mean, I found some stuff. It's not a bad spot to go. Check it out. And you'll find something. I guarantee you'll find something you like. So if you got a gaming team, man, hook up the jerseys. Get your all's name on some jerseys. And there you go. So without further ado, guys, I think that's it for the news. Let's get on some Star Wars. Boo, 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 boo.